Much like a perfect Valentine's story, the home buying and selling process is full of emotion and logic, and the perfect Valentine comes out in the perfect balance between your emotion and your logic and all of the financial planning that you might think of. Today, Valentine's Day, the time of this recording is the anniversary of the first date I went on with my wife 21 years ago. So shows my age a little bit, but I wanted to give a little tongue-in-cheek Valentine reference to the home buying and home selling process and talk a little bit about that emotional journey and how I, as an agent, really help my clients understand that it's not all about the numbers and the investment and the logic, and it can't be all about emotion either. So stay tuned, we're gonna dive in. What's up guys, Jeremy Kane, eXp Realty with a special Valentine's Day anniversary edition of Why Invest Wednesday, living in the Denver suburbs. And it is absolutely an amazing day because like I said, 21 years ago today, I went on my first date with my wife. And although I knew we were going to get married, she thought I was a little bit crazy for saying that. I don't think I said it that day, but shortly after. And then she was like, get away from me. So I'm going to compare Valentine's Day to the home buying and selling process. We're going to talk about emotions, where it's okay to, kind of go with that, expectations and all the things. While you're here, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me I'm crazy. Tell me a story that you might have. But the hope is that we find the perfect match between emotion and analytics and get you into or onto your real estate journey of your dreams. So let's jump into it. And we're gonna first start with the home search. I actually have a client right now who is searching for a home and also in the dating scene. And she compares the two pretty evenly. She's like, it's kind of the same thing, except for I just meet you here and we look at houses, or, I meet a guy, we go on a date, and it's kind of like, okay, do I like this? Do I like that? And it's like constantly taking an inventory. So I thought that was kind of crazy. But anyways, we're going to talk a little bit about that. And finding the perfect match for you in your home buying journey is obviously a very important piece of the puzzle. But in our current environment, with the interest rates where they're at, with the prices where they've gone, the truth is that sometimes that first home that you buy or that next home you buy, if you change the expectation, the mindset of, okay, this is going to be a 1 to 2 year home or a 2 to 5 year home, certainly it's better than renting, because it seems as though with the increase in rents and all of that, it's really hard to save. So you're just constantly just kicking the can down the road, paying someone else's mortgage down or paying towards someone else's net worth versus, your own. And so as we talk about that, it's sometimes important to set that expectation of, okay, this is the long-term plan, right? Like, okay, it was my long-term plan to, find my future wife and whatever in college. And, just because I went on a date with this cool, awesome lady named Sarah, and I was like, yeah, that's awesome. You're cool. We connect. You have this, that, and the other thing. And I think we should get married. Well, that was a little weird. 10 years later, we did get married. But as this home buying journey goes, it could be, hey, we're gonna go on this date. I'm gonna buy this house. We're gonna be like dating for a while. And I'm gonna live here and I'm gonna use it and I'm gonna, invest in it. I'm gonna fix it up. I'm gonna do whatever. But then I'm gonna move on to the next one, right? And so if you have a plan in that journey and a real estate agent or a confidant, as far as that goes, that can help you along that process, can understand your plan and the piece of the puzzle that this home purchase may be, then it may be a lot easier to check all your boxes because it's just part of it. Obviously, first and foremost, safety. Make sure you feel safe in it. Don't, move into, a neighborhood where you feel unsafe or a situation where you might feel unsafe. Just because it's part of the process and the numbers work and whatever. But if we can find a place where you feel safe, you feel comfortable, you can live there, and maybe the plan is to live there for a year and a day, maybe the plan is to live there for 3 years, or maybe it's 10 years, whatever that is, we can help kind of massage that situation and pay attention to what's going on, and then be flexible, right? And any relationship, being flexible is key. You know, you could find your future husband or wife or mate in that, and that might change things. Adding income, subtracting income, all of these things come into play. But if you have an agent that's more of an advisor on your journey, we can make those adjustments and make those decisions not only on the emotion, but also the logic and how it works and where the two meet. And so setting those expectations and making a plan that's more realistic is super important right now. And so if we have these first-time home buyers, it's like, okay, well, this may be your first investment property, but you're going to live in it for a while, right? And you're going to get all the advantages to primary residence loans and all of that. But then the plan is to either, you know, take advantage of a rate drop or maybe a HELOC, or, you know, somehow leverage some of that equity that makes sense to, you know, go to the next one. Or maybe it might be we need to sell it, right? And if we need to sell it, certainly, I'll tell you the story of Sarah and I's first home. This is one of the pieces of real estate that I have sold that, you know, we essentially purchased it for $120,000. 6 years later, we sold it for $283,000. I thought we were on top of the world. But that money that we took forward was able to go to our current home and really set us up for success in a very comfortable, manageable mortgage payment, which was more than double our previous one. However, I look at it now and it's very affordable, and a lot of people and a lot of first-time homebuyers would die for our mortgage because of the interest rate, but also because of that amount we put towards the principal. So although I do kick myself sometimes for selling that property, it made sense based on, you know, the analytics there and the emotion of getting into our home there. We could raise our kids and raise our family and be comfortable in for a long time due to the size and the location and all the things. And so as we kind of put all that together, it was finding that balance of the emotion and the logic. And when selling a home, that's absolutely the case. So many sellers are like, is it a good time to sell? The truth is, it depends, right? But also, it's really important to put a little bit less weight on finding the perfect time and maximizing the market and getting absolute top dollar for your home, because a lot of people don't realize, especially when they're selling their primary residence and buying in the same market, that if you maximize your value at that point, you're going to maximize your value on the purchase, and you're either winning or losing based on buyer, seller, and what the market's doing if you're staying in the same market. So it's almost like, okay, but it made so much sense, and the emotion wasn't as you know, maybe pertinent as it is today, because today I'm like, oh man, that home, you know, that I sold for $283, I never thought it would get much above $300. It sold for $400 and $450. Well, I can beat myself up because you know, at that point that's missing out and all the things, but the truth is it worked for our situation, and at the time, that was what's best for our family. So you have to kind of weigh the emotion and the logic. And when you come to that perfect medium, it's almost like a perfect Valentine's Day date that goes absolutely smoothly. That at the end, you're like, hey, that's, you know, maybe that relationship can get wings and go from there, just like Cupid shooting that arrow through your Valentine's Day life. So that's that part. And then, you know, we obviously have to take into account all of the emotions and the finances that go into it. I think that that's the most important piece of this kind of tongue-in-cheek video this Valentine's Day, is talking about having that financial plan, having a step to success if that's what it takes, and dedicating to that plan, but being okay when life changes, when things change, when you have the opportunity to make that move based on the numbers working, or based on, hey, this is what I want to do, because we do have a finite amount of time here. And so it can't be all about maximizing every single cent and penny out of that investment, because we must enjoy it, because that's the beauty of real estate investment, is We can actually live in the home. We can make it ours. We can, do a lot of things. We can change it to our liking and enjoy it, right? It provides a shelter, which is certainly a need of ours. But when we're able to pour our emotions and make that house a home, while taking advantage of, whatever investment advantages that real estate provides, that's where the perfect marriage and the perfect Valentine's Day love story comes into play with real estate. So, and I really do pride myself on going on that journey. I'm a married man, obviously, but going on that journey with you as, your trusted advisor through this, and having that kind of balance, right? If sometimes it's all about emotion. We're living our lives in the midlife crisis, and we have to make it happen, and this is what we're going to do, and this is our plan, and the numbers don't necessarily matter in those situations. We'd certainly want to make the best financial decision we can, but life happens, right? Things happen. We change. We have to be flexible and allow for somewhat of emotion to come into play when buying and selling, and then factor in the investment side, the statistical side, and find that perfect rhythm, which is exactly what I love doing for my clients. So if you're interested, or you're kind of wondering like, oh man, I have this low interest rate, but this house and I just aren't making it, right? I need a new Valentine in a new home. Let's talk, right? We can have that and say, okay, this is kind of what you're giving up. This is what you're looking at. Does it make sense? And it might make sense and it might not. And we can work together, whether you used me to purchase your home or not, or you're just like, hey, this is my situation. I'm not as happy here, or I'm super happy here, but I really like it to have this. Let's connect you with a designer. Let's connect you with a contractor to make that home what you want it to, or is it not possible? And is it okay to maybe move on from that 3 or 4% interest rate in lieu of finding that place where you're more comfortable, more happy, and advancing the investment portfolio as you go. So I hope that helps. I hope it makes sense. Wanted to give you a little Valentine's Day real estate video today. Please reach out. Always available to book a call to talk about if it is the right time for you to make a move. And the truth is, I'm extremely creative. So if you're, like, I don't even know, like, this is what I'm feeling, this is what the numbers say, where do I go? I'm happy to walk that journey with you and help you make that best decision you possibly can. So love to chat with you. Book a call with me in the calendar link below. If you're just like, that's weird, whatever, Valentine's Day, that's funny, throw me a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe, and let's keep in touch. So I hope you had a good Valentine's Day, and just know that there's definitely Cupid in the air, matchmaking you to homes, and it might be your time. Let's go. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.